Hey guys, how y'all doing? This video I'm about to do is pretty much about me going through postpartum depression. Um, and I'm doing this video because I feel like I want to share it because I want to make females know that you're not alone and whatever you're going through, you're not crazy. It's real. Like, postpartum depression is real. Like, I never knew about it because I've never had kids before, but having my daughter, that's where it started, and it happened again while I have Prince. And I just want to share the experience with you to make people understand that it's real. It's real, you know. I feel like one of the reasons why, and I don't feel, one of the reasons why people go through it.
I'm boring.
You're bored?
Yes.
Where's your book? You want this? This one? There you go. One of the reasons why people go through it is they don't have help. And when you don't have help, when you have a baby, and I'm talking about experience, I'm not talking about somebody telling me, I'm talking about experience. When you don't have help, it's one of the worst things because the baby's crying, you're in pain, you want to sleep. It's tiresome. It's very tiresome, you know. And a lot of times when I always say to myself, that's before I have kids, I always say, why would someone leave the baby outside or throw the baby in the garbage or stuff like that. But no, going through what I'm about to tell you, that's what happened to them, but they never got the chance to get over that milestone to get back to reality, so yeah. So when I had Tahini, I I went through it, and it's like the thoughts were coming in my head like throw in the wall and throw on, I was thinking like terrible things to do to her, like throwing her in the walls, stepping on her, a lot of crazy stuff was going in my mind. And when my brain was telling me all that, I walked away. I walked away from her and I went in the living room, you know, just to clear my head of it, and then when I came back to reality, I would go in the room and do whatever, either feed her, change her, or whatever it was needed. But it always happened when she was crying, and then it comes right back to saying you're tired, you want to sleep, you just want to lay down because you've never had a kid before, so you're used to laying down resting. So this individual, yes sweetie, give me that container, give me the container, the plate, yeah. So an individual coming in your life, it's a whole nother level. So the baby is crying and you want to sleep, so it's like your head is pounding, so all these crazy thoughts were coming in my head. And I never told anyone. And I went through it for 2 months. But in my mind, I'm like, why am I thinking all these things? Why? And after those 2 months, is like I came back to myself. And it's like I started loving my baby, and I started appreciating her. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a blessing for me to have. But when I just had her, I wasn't feeling that. I wasn't. From the moment she was born, I never felt like I wanted to be bonded with her. And after those 2 months of going through that, I didn't know that it was postpartum depression. When I went to my doctor and they said, "Are you going through postpartum depression?" Because I guess it's something that they ask you. And I said, "No, I never told him. I never told him." And I said to him, "Could you give me one of those pamphlets about postpartum depression?" And when I read it, I realized that was what I was going through. That was what I was going through. And I said it to one of my aunts, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you should have told someone. What if you had, hurt the baby or whatever?" You know what I'm saying? Which I should have, but I didn't really know what was going on. And I was ashamed to say to anyone, because how can you tell somebody that you're thinking of harming your kid? You know what I'm saying? So, I kept it to myself, and I got over the hurdle. I got over the hurdle, and everybody knows that I love Coco to my heart. Everybody knows that I love Coco to my heart. you know with Prince, I had it again. I had postpartum depression again, but with Tahani it was worse. When I had him, the moment he came home, I didn't want to bond with him. I just wanted to leave them in the house and run away. That's what the brain was telling me, to leave them in the house, run away, catch the place on fire. Yeah, it was devastating. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going through this again. I don't want to go through this alone. So I told my doctor, and I got therapy. And I want to thank Dr. Lewis. I really want to thank Dr. Lewis for helping me through this process. And when I went to him, he said to me, I don't know what he said to me, and I started crying. And he said, "What did I say to you for you to start crying?" And I said to him, "I just lost my mom," because me having the baby and not knowing that she's here to adore him, it kind of hit me for that minute. And he said, when she passed away, I said, last year, and he's like, "It's gonna happen, but remember, you have to live for your kids. You have to live for your kids." And after he told me that, I kept going to sessions, and to baby steps of how to recover. And it really, really helped me. And I want to thank you again, Dr. Lewis. I told him that I definitely will give him a gift as well, because he helped me to get over this hurdle as well. So yes, so it's a terrible disease. It makes you want to have a lack of interest in the baby, and have suicidal thoughts. It's crazy. But as I said, I'm very happy that I got over it. And I just felt like I wanted to put this out there for people to know, for mothers, new moms to know, for moms that already have kids and went through it, but are ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed. If you talk about it, it's better. And I've noticed that when you talk about it, you feel much better. And it happens mostly to people that do not have help. Because I feel like if I had help, like if I had people that actually, like, for a big family home, then, like, for example, say I had lived with my mom, my sister, my father, my aunt, that like a big family that everybody can just jump around and hold the baby and whatnot. I don't think I would have gone through it. With Tahani, I had people around, but they weren't living with me. There's a difference. You get me? So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there, to tell you guys that you're not alone, you're not crazy. It do happen, but seek help, because it could have been worse. I could have harmed the kid, not knowing what I'm doing. you know, but I held a grip of myself to say, what is this? Why am I thinking all these things? You know? So whenever you see people leave the kids or whatever, don't think that they do it on purpose, or it's just that I realized that they were going through it, but they never got to go over the hurdle, you know. So I hope, you know, this video gets to, you know, people, so that they can understand that they're not alone when going through postpartum depression, and please seek help if needed. Okay, please seek help if needed. You know, and that's pretty much it. You know, I want to thank you guys so much, because you have been, for all the people that have been, you know, following me from the beginning, and, you know, and supporting me. Thank you guys so much. You've been tremendously great. Don't be afraid to comment, ask me questions, share, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, and a neighbor. And I love you guys so much, and continue praying for me and my family, and I have a lot more videos to come. Come tell them, don't forget to subscribe, Mama. Come. You know she gotta put her 2 cents in. So,
subscribe and subscribe. Subscribe, everybody.
everybody.